My name is Sophia Trentafellis, and unlike Bill Baker, I've never been to the North or the South Pole. But someday, maybe. I'm honored to speak today in celebration of all of our achievement for the second year ever of the Master of Science in Nonprofit Leadership program here at Fordham University. We will now forever be connected as part of the Fordham Center for the Nonprofit Leaders. So who is Fordham Center for Nonprofit Leaders? We are a diverse microcosm representing what can be accomplished when individuals from a multitude of different backgrounds come together because we want to change the world. Combined, we are professionals across many fields and industries. We are successful corporate leaders. We are leaders who manage some of the most prestigious and advanced hospitals in the world. We are dedicated to ending hunger, fighting homelessness, human trafficking, alleviating poverty. We work on the refugee crisis. We are leaders who work in schools, focus on creating opportunities to empower youth, nutrition and mentorship programs, leaders who care deeply about decreasing high school dropout rates in communities where children thought nobody cared. We care. We are leaders dedicated to child welfare and to urging our country to ratify the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. We are social workers who heal trauma. We are shifting how society addresses mental illness, leaders who work in prisons and who work in reducing recidivism rates for the formerly incarcerated. We represent the demand for social justice, for gender equality, for the deconstruction of racism, for the rights of the LGBT community. We represent the interests of the impaired. We work for increased access to opportunity and rights for all. We are both Democrats and Republicans. Many of us are strong in our faith, and we come from many traditions. Some of us even lead congregations. Some of us grew up with opportunity, and some of us had to make opportunity ourselves. We are the evidence that bringing people together from diverse backgrounds makes us far stronger and better at solving problems which cross all the lines that society creates to make the belief that we're separate. Let us be the living proof, and let us take what we've learned here into the world as we practice on a macro scale. Before starting the program, the two pieces of insight that I heard the most were that this program will be transformational, and that it's the people who you work with during the year that you learn from the most. Both of these statements have definitely proved to be true. It's safe to say that every one of us has gone through transformation in the past year, and I'll never forget the level of support we gave each other on our best and our worst days. So much has changed in our professional and personal lives. Some have started new ventures, been promoted to new positions, been recruited by our own colleagues. Some have donated kidneys, had babies, gotten engaged, married, and some of us have lost loved ones. Additionally, every single one of us has gone through tremendous change as we pushed ourselves to grow in our thinking, our collaboration style, and our expression of leadership. And to the individuals that I had the privilege of knowing through this program, thank you. Thank you to every leader who took initiative, who saw what needed to be done, who recognized the strengths in themselves and the strengths in others, and who worked to pull out new strengths in each other. Thank you for bringing your individual experience, expertise, and knowledge, and bringing that to the table so that we could push ourselves to think in new ways and problem solve using new methods. Colleagues and new lifelong friends, you are the ones who made this program so valuable. Coming from a background in for-profit management, I entered the program with the naive assumption that everything in the nonprofit world would just inherently be void of unethical behavior. Well, that absurd myth was squashed on day one when we started reviewing all the nonprofits that recently failed due to mismanagement. So soon after, I realized that for-profit, not-for-profit, social enterprise, the framework that we exist in is not what creates the condition for ethics, but it's people who do. The internal moral compass at the foundation of each and every one of us, that's what makes a difference. As leaders, we live and make decisions by our own moral code. Receiving a Master of Science from Fordham University is an empowering moment for myself, and surely all of us who earn this degree. When I received my bachelor's, I can honestly say I was nearly as equipped to take on the world as I am now. I remember feeling like I spent my whole life in school just to look forward to my upper division coursework. And yet I graduated with a heavy heart, having learned about the human history of the world, governments, poverty, and all the injustices that were completely written out of the textbooks when we were younger. I began to imagine the immense level of injustice in the world was so deeply embedded into every social, economic, and political system, and that these systems were so well locked into power that when it came to creating real change, good luck. But that's completely shifted since my experience at Fordham. We now have the tools and the support we need to help us take on the big problems that we want to solve. The reality of today is that we live in a time where innovation and startups are breaking through ceilings, dismantling broken systems, and pushing the world forward into new spaces and new ways of thinking. Leaders, we are living during a time of immense challenge, but also of immense opportunity. I hope this MS empowers each and every one of us to realize the level of potential within ourselves and our ability to make change when we work together. But let's start with ourselves first. We can only be as great as the greatness we work to achieve inwardly, and we set our own limits. So let's raise the bar, let's break through ceilings, and let's break down barriers. Trust in yourself and your ability to be a problem solver that goes beyond the traditional methods, because as leaders, we create new ways. And don't be afraid of failure. This year we learned that pitching great ideas includes making mistakes, having them ripped apart, and then going back to the drawing board and making them better. So, fail forward. Embrace critique, because leaders are always ready to grow. Just a few months ago, in the short window of time between discovering that my sister unexpectedly developed terminal cancer and 2 weeks later when she suddenly passed on June 30th, she left me with some gifts. She told me she would never again work a job that she didn't care about. She would never live for anyone else, she would never settle, and that life is too precious to waste time when you should be out there living and working towards your dreams. I wish for each and every one of us that we intentionally choose meaningful work, that we live with passion and determination, follow our intuition, knowing that sometimes when you're trying to make real change, you have to stop listening to all the voices that tell you you can't do it, and listen to the voice inside your heart that knows you can. Leaders, trust your intuition and never settle. The level of compassion in this room overwhelms my heart. Here we are together, a group of inspiring, intelligent individuals who are working every day to make better outcomes for the sick and the suffering, and for those hurt by injustice, to advocate on behalf of those who have no voice. I'll never forget in our public advocacy class when my colleague Mary completely surprised me in her presentation. She quoted my words, "Let's be a voice for the voiceless." Thank you to each and every one of you for choosing to be a voice for those who aren't being heard. My wish is that we use our skills, courage, and compassion, that we push ourselves to take innovative risks. So all those great ideas you have, get out there and do them. Considering the state of the world right now, we need you to go out and give it all you've got. So I'll share a favorite quote of mine from one of the most influential leaders of our time, and this one's for you, class of 2016. "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. But the one thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do." Thank you. Congratulations. And as Lady Davis said best, go forth and set the world on fire.